ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम, a very warm welcome. ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ ऋतुः सुदर्शनः कालः परमेष्ठी परिग्रहः उग्रः संवत्सरो दक्षो विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणः विस्तारस्थावरस्थाणुः प्रमाणं बीजमव्ययम् अर्थोऽनर्थो महाकोशो महाभोगो महाधनः अनिर्विण्णस्थविष्ठो भूर्धर्मयूपो महामखः नक्षत्रनेमिर्नक्षत्री क्षमः क्षामः समीहनः यज्ञ इज्यो महेज्यश्च क्रतुः सत्रं सताङ्गतिः सर्वदर्शी विमुक्तात्मा सर्वज्ञो ज्ञानमुत्तमम्. Having discussed about this Nama Yajna elaborately for the past 2 days, we now make small concluding remarks and then proceed further. We see Yajna in the form of worship towards Ishvara. We see Yajna as a religious practices in terms of rituals when it comes to karma. We see the same yajna bhava in the righteous attitude and action with or in line with dharma when it comes to common actions in the world outside, and we see the same yajna bhava in performing our own swadharma when it comes to our own individual level of understanding. So yajna here we see as Ishvara himself. Yajna itself is karma. Yajna itself is dharma. Yajna itself is swadharma. And all this put together, even yajna is Bhagavan himself. Why yajna is Bhagavan? Because in all these functioning, it is the main source. That is Bhagavan himself. Without Bhagavan, none of these can happen. Therefore, the main source for all these is Bhagavan. Therefore, whatever we perform, it has to go back to Bhagavan. In Kannada, the statement is Kereya Neeranu Kerege Chelli. If you talk about Samskrita, rather Hindi, Tera Tujko Arpan. These are all statements which we see in very many shlokas and bhajans and etc. Kritis, Kirtana, etc. What does that mean? I perform everything with a bhavana of samarpanam at the feet of Bhagavan. Therefore, yajnaha. Bhagavad Gita guides us. Niyatam kuru karmatvam karmadhyayo hya karmanaha sharira yatra pichatena prasiddheda karmanaha. It is said, Niyatam kuru. Perform your actions diligently. Perform your obligatory duties diligently, and this performance of our own duty without any compromise itself is yajna. Therefore, in certain cases, we don't have to always think of yajna as a homa, havana, ityadi rituals, karma, but even our own actions with attitude behind the action can also become a sacrifice, an offering, an oblation as a yajna at the feet of Bhagavan. Viveka Chudamani says, Chittasya shuddhaye karma natu vastupalabdhaye. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Karma is meant for what? Purification of the mind. And for purification, karma is extremely important. Very interestingly, Shastras at a higher level declare, karma cannot bring jnanam, or karma cannot bring liberation. Karma by itself cannot bring liberation, but karma becomes a stepping stone for jnanam. Jnana yogyata siddhyartam chittasya shuddhaye. Mind becomes purer, and the pure mind means quieter the mind. Quieter the mind, sharper the intellect. When the intellect is sharper, discrimination, Viveka Shakti is very good. And with Viveka Shakti, one is able to discriminate. Nitya Nitya Vastu iti Vivekaha. Nitya Nitya Vastu meaning what? that which is real, that which is not real. Bhagavan alone is real, nothing else is real. Why? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. So all our direction is towards that Satya Vastu, which alone is permanent, and that alone is Ananda Swarupa, and it is that Ananda I am looking forward to. And now what is Ananda here? Bhagavan himself. Therefore, Yajna Yagadi Karma Phalam is Anandam. Through what? Chitta Shuddhi. Therefore, Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma. Perform actions. Param Pujya Gurudev would always say, we have to reach a state of inaction. What is inaction there? Not lethargy, not laziness. Their inaction is being hyperactive, not doing anything, meaning becoming the witness. To reach that state of being a witness, which does not perform any action, one has to go through performance of action. To reach the unknown, one has to go through the known alone. Therefore, action is the signature of life in an organism. He thunders from his platform. Meaning what? If I am alive, I have to perform action. And why do I perform action? For the sake of purification. And purification is required for steady mind. And steady mind is required for Jnanam. Jnana yogyata siddhyartam karma chittasya shuddhaye karma. Therefore, karma has to be performed, and it has to be performed with the right attitude. Therefore, yajna becomes primary importance for common man. Why is it said so? Because common man's mind is always distracted. Is always totally scattered in different direction. If it is in one place, then bringing the mind back becomes easier. But the mind is distracted, is scattered in 12,345.67 directions. Think. Therefore, karma is very important. Now look at the same thing in a slightly different manner. When it is a chittasya shuddhaye karma, niyatam kuru karmatvam, this also refers to certain other actions which are easier for you and me to perform. How? For example, in our olden days, our elderly people used to constantly insist. I would like to use the word insist. What is that? When you get up early morning, go and perform one namaskaram to Bhagavan. Apply one tilak. In some cases, they don't insist on that. But just go and do namaskaram to Bhagavan. Go and do namaskaram to parents, grandparents, and then do whatever you want. But what happens? Look at this nature of the mind. A mind that has to bow down, and while that bowing down takes place, the mind is concentrated. You cannot distract your mind and then go and perform an action of surrender, an action of namaskaram. Namaskaram always draws your mind back, whether you like it or not. This is one very beautiful nature. When I surrender early morning, I start the day with Bhagavan's thought. I start the day with educating my mind. I start the day with quietening the mind. This habit of quietening the mind becomes very important to achieve anything in the world outside. This performance of namaskaram at the feet of Bhagavan, namaskaram at the feet of the parents, they are no different anyway. What happens? The mind becomes quiet. And that mind, even if it is for a small period of time, maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, but that mind enjoys that quietude. Please note. That surrender is what? Basically, it is the surrender of the ego. The surrender of the ego quietens the mind. Therefore, the mind without ego is a temple of Bhagavan himself. And there has to be Ananda. If Bhagavan is in the mind, it has to be Ananda. Why are we not happy? Because we never keep Bhagavan in our mind. We have all the whims and fancies of the world in the mind, and they are so important to us. Bhagavan becomes unimportant. Therefore, Anandam becomes a rare commodity. The more I entertain Bhagavan, the more I am happier. And that is what I actually want. Even by going around with the whims and fancies of the world, what I am actually seeking is that Anandam only. And that Anandam is Bhagavat Swarupa. And when I keep Bhagavan in my mind, Anandam is automatically there. Therefore, this ability to have Bhagavan in our mind at all times is very, very important for us, because the more happier I am, the more quietened is my mind. The more my mind is quietened, I have the ability to succeed in any field of activity. Therefore, Chittasya Shuddhaye Karma Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam. All these are very important statements. And all these indicate that bhavana of yajna. What is that yajna? You can define it in so many ways. Seva, Sharanagati, Karma, Dharma. And then finally, what is it? What is that? That yajna itself is Bhagavan. Yajno vai Vishnu, says Taittiriya Samhita. Yajna itself is Vishnu. The Lord himself is in the form of yajna. Therefore, yajna, when you say, it is again surrender. It is again offering. Offering what? Offering havis is only a symbolism. The main offering is idam na mama. I give myself. Nothing is mine. Therefore, the ego is offered in Agni. This is the ultimate bhavana of yajna. When I offer my ego at the feet of Agni, Agni burns away the ego. When Agni burns away the ego, what else is remaining? Bhagavan alone. Remember that equation earlier we had said, God plus ego is equal to man, woman included. Therefore, man, woman included, minus ego must be God. So what I offer in Yajna Kunda is my ego. Symbolizing this, I offer havis. There is a lot of description about the varieties of havis which are offered in the Yajna Kunda. We will not take that because that will take another 4-5 days. That much of description. What havis is meant for what? What havis gives me what result? All those are also mentioned in the Shastra. We will not go so much deeper. Right now we have already spent a lot of time in this. We will have to proceed. So Bhagavan himself is yajna. This is the point. Finally, Ishwararpana buddhihi is what that indicates yajna. That is what we just now said. I offer everything at the feet of Ishvara. Ishvara arpana buddhihi. Whatever I perform, action plus result and the actor, the performer, everything is offered at the feet of Bhagavan in the Homakunda as havis, symbolizing my ego. Therefore, yajnaha, Bhagavan himself is this yajna. Proceeding further, ijjaha. What is ijjaha? Yashtavyaha api ayam eva iti ijjaha. Ayam eva. What is this ayam? Ayam here is Bhagavan. Ayam eva yashtavyaha api. Api means what? He himself is. What is that? The most desired object of every sadhaka. Think. Again, if I can draw the same thought from the previous few sentences, our purpose is Ananda, And that, what kind of Ananda? I always say permanent, eternal, never-ending, everlasting, unsullied, pure, complete, total, etc. You can take thesaurus and then write a few more if you want. That kind of Ananda alone I expect. Please note, very, very important point here. I want all these type of Ananda. From where? From very petty, paltry things in life. Isn't it? Very interesting. I want this kind of Ananda from one cup of coffee. How can a cup of coffee give me permanent, eternal, everlasting, never-ending, uncontaminated, unsullied, pure, complete, total? Are Rama. Isn't it true? Everything. Mobile, I want to listen to a song. Very many times, I am sure you will endorse my statement. When I play that song, I don't even complete that song listening. Suddenly mind changes. Suddenly I change. Some other thing I play. Some other talk I play. Some other reality show I play. Why do I play like that? I want joy. And that song which I was listening is not, it has got a detrimental value. What is this detrimental value? It is not giving the same joy. When I started, it gave me very beautiful joy. Oh, beautiful song, wonderful song. By the time first paragraph is over, the value of the joy is diminishing. And by the time the second paragraph starts and goes halfway through, my mind is changed. Why? Suddenly my mind has jumped to another song or another reality show. Think. And then what do? I stop this and go there. Why do I stop this and go? I wanted this for joy, for happiness. I go there again for what? Happiness. Why do I shift? Because I didn't find that happiness here. Therefore, in life, everything goes on changing because none of them in the world can give me this happiness what I am looking forward to. How is it possible? A finite thing or a being. The definition is very clear. What is that? Finite. And what I am looking forward? Infinite. Therefore, objects of my seeking keeps changing because the joy which I am seeking for is not available in those objects. And the best joke is, if we go further deep down and understand the logic, Ananda Swarupaha Ahamevasmi. And where I am seeking out of me. I am in the opposite direction. Therefore, Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda used to say, you take a U-turn. What is that U-turn? I am seeking everything outside. Take a U-turn and seek within. And what is there within? Within what is only Bhagavan. Minus Bhagavan, nothing is there. Therefore, He alone is the one who is worshipped. Ijjaha meaning what? He alone is worshipped. For what? For gaining that Ananda. Now look at this. Yajna is an act of worship. That is also Bhagavan. Ijjaha is the object of worship, which is again Bhagavan. Think. He alone is the ultimately desired object of worship. Why? How do you say He alone is the ultimate end? Why can't there be something beyond Him? Because He is Ananda Swarupa. The moment I get that unlimited Ananda, my searching is over. My seeking and searching both are over once I gain that supreme Ananda. And Bhagavan alone is that Ananda Swarupa. He being the Sat, He is being the Chit, and He being the Ananda Swarupa. All these three are Swarupa of Bhagavan, and that Swarupa I alone am. think? Therefore, from the bhakta standpoint, from the karta standpoint, from the bhokta standpoint, from a jnani standpoint, from a mumukshu standpoint, all of them, the ultimate destination is Bhagavan. Therefore, he is Ijyaha, the one who is the object of worship by anybody. Right from a common, normal human being who has no even smell of spirituality, even he is seeking Bhagavan by seeking objects of happiness. And this happiness is Bhagavan, therefore, Ijyaha, the one who is worshipped through yajna when it comes to rituals, through bhava when it comes to bhakti, through action when it comes to karma yoga, and through jnanam, even mumukshus are seeking this only end. Therefore, he is called Ijyaha. And the next one is also connected to that. What is that? Mahejyaha. Maha-Ijyaha. Why? What is it? When it is, he is the supreme. Here, and that has been declared as Ijjaha. Why is it that Maha-Ijjaha? Is there something beyond him because of which you call Maha? No. The answer is, now please see, Sarvasu Devatasu Yashtavyasu Prakarshena Yashtavyaha. Sarvasu Devatasu. Now in the Yajna Yagadi Karma, we propitiate whom? Varuna, Indra, Brihaspati, Prajapati, Ityadi Devataha. And actually, through them, who is the actual Yashtavyaha? Through them it is Bhagavan only. Why? They are also nothing but Bhagavan alone, functioning through the portfolio given to them in different forms. Remember the law of causation? Second law, effects are nothing but cause itself in different forms. If all the devatas are the effect and the causes Bhagavan, Bhagavan himself is all the devatas. Therefore, through, even though I perform yajna to Agni Devata or Varuna Devata or Prajapati, we are actually performing yajna towards Bhagavan only. So, Sarvasu Devatasu Yastavyasu Prakarshena Yastavyaha. Prakarshena means the one who is the ultimate object of worship. Who is that? Moksha Phala Datr. Moksha Phala Datr. Bhagavan alone gives us that particular last leap, that last jump. What is that? Having risen our mind and intellect to that highest form, dropping all the individuality of the Sharira, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, when I am at that highest point, it is Bhagavan who pushes us on the other side. We glide into the other side with the blessings and grace of Bhagavan alone. Now see, Moksha Phala Datritvat. In case our efforts have not been comfortable, in case our efforts have not been complete, then what happens? We hold on. And when we hold on the pole in a pole vault, for example, it is a foul play. You have not succeeded. This ability to drop and glide, this is possible only with the blessings of Bhagavan. And he alone decides moksha phala. Therefore, moksha phala datritvat iti mahejyaha, mahaijyaha. He is worshipped as the ultimate because of the fact that he gives moksha phala. And moksha phala is the only purpose of human life. All other things is fortunately waste of time. Many may not agree, but it is a fact. All other things are not the purpose of life because none of them can give me that particular supreme joy. Bhagavan alone can give. Isn't it very, now you look at it differently. Bhagavan alone is Ananda Swarupa, that is the ultimate joy. And what we seek is also ultimate joy, and all the whims and fancies, things and beings of the world cannot give. Therefore, what we also want primarily is not the things and beings, Bhagavan alone. But unfortunately, we are unaware of this fact. We are ignorant of this fact. What is that fact? We are also seeking Bhagavan. You know what? Even the atheist, an atheist also seeks Bhagavan only, but differently. Not knowing that what he is seeking is Bhagavan only, his rational, so-called rational intelligence, which is nothing other than ego. Even an atheist is functioning through ego only, but his ego alone comes in between him and that supreme joy, what he is seeking. By rejecting Bhagavan, he is actually seeking Bhagavan only. Unfortunately, he is unaware. Therefore, Mahejyaha, when it is said, he is the ultimate recourse. He is the final resolve. Nothing else will work. Now the next question is, Swamiji, does it mean that I will give up everything and just go where? Where will you go? It is not Bhagavan in a particular place in a 11th cloud or something. Swamiji, I will go to Himalayas. I will find Bhagavan there. If you cannot find Bhagavan here, you cannot find Bhagavan there. Think. If you cannot find Bhagavan here and now, you cannot find Bhagavan anywhere, because Bhagavan is everywhere. Point number 1. Point number 2, you are only trying to shift your circumstances. Bhagavan is beyond all circumstances. Think. You are trying to find a conducive atmosphere. Therefore, how long, where all will you go and search? Swamiji, I will go to Ayodhya. I will find Rama there. I will find Bhagavan there. Bhagavan is available here also. Bhagavan is available there also. Going for a Tirtha Yatra to Ayodhya is definitely very good, because the mind becomes open, the mind becomes purer, mind is given some activity, and that activity is supposed to purify the mind. Therefore, Tirtha Yatra is extremely important. One has to go. But if you say Bhagavan is not here, Bhagavan is only in Ayodhya, Bhagavan is only in Kailasa, Bhagavan is only in Vaikuntha, then there is a problem. While going to Ayodhya, while going to Kailasa Yatra, while going to Amarnath, definitely mind is in a different state of mind. Mind is not experiencing the routines. Anything that which is not routine, mind is open. And in that open mind, I gain more and more knowledge, I gain more and more conducive atmosphere to think about Bhagavan. The purpose of Shivaratri, for example, is a time where the mind is highly influenced by evil forces. To protect our mind from all those evil forces, I keep my mind constantly in tune with Bhagavan. That is the purpose of Shivaratri. Shivaratri is not only keeping myself awake and then sleep the whole next day. And people play cards, people watch movies, people, do so many atrocious things. That is not the purpose. That you can keep awake for even other days also. It doesn't make any difference. The purpose of keeping myself awake during Shivaratri or even in Krishnashtami is so because the mind is being influenced during those periods by the evil forces. I keep myself firm. I keep myself strong. I keep my mind well connected with Bhagavan, and then no evil force can ever touch me. What is this evil force? Our own disturbed and distracted mind. There is no evil force or Rakshasa or Bhuta and Deva outside. Everybody are there peacefully settled in our own mind. And these are the times where I tell them, you have no business here. It is a time where I focus my mind towards Bhagavan and gain the knowledge of Bhagavan and gain the blessings of Bhagavan and be with Bhagavan. Therefore, spiritual practices by itself cannot give Bhagavan, but they definitely create an atmosphere. Now look at that. Jnana yogyata siddhyartam sarvam sadhanani. Think. And then once I do that, Mahejyaha, he will give us. Moksha, phala, datra he is. He will bless. But are we ready? Kratuhu, the next nama. What is Kratuhu? Yupasahitaha yajnaha Kratuhu. One of the best way of explaining this Yupa, we had discussed this earlier. What is that? It is that particular pillar which is being installed and the sacrificial animal is tied. Actually, the etymological meaning or the symbolism is, it is nothing but a sankalpa I take. It is not that sankalpa which Archaka comes and says, okay, now keep tulsi dala, put some water in that, and then, mamo pata samasta durita kshayadvarashi parameshwar, and then finally go in with what? Mama kutumanam kshema sairya virya, and then begging only. No. That some sankalpa has a different meaning which we don't understand. One, why we don't understand? People don't teach us. They just say, do it, and then we do it. Offer it, we throw it. Over. Sankalpa over. What is that sankalpa? Sankalpa is indicated here, meaning what? Our sankalpa is the determining factor. When I say, mamopata samasta durita kshayadvara, Sri Parameshwara Pirtyatam, meaning through sankalpa, I take the sankalpa of reaching him alone. That is the main sankalpa. The rest are all this laukika. For that, all these sankalpas are also not required. Even without this, you will go behind that only. Isn't it? Do we make any sankalpa today morning? I get up and do sankalpa. What is that? My sankalpa is today I will go behind all fanciful things. Do we do sankalpa? You get up, that is sufficient. Next moment you are not with you. Why? You have gone. For which no sankalpa is to be prescribed. Think. Sankalpa is required because since my mind is not with me, since my mind is disturbed and distracted and gone astray behind all things and beings, a mind which has got habituated in that, a determination, an assertion, an affirmation is required, a disciplining is required to the mind. Oh mind, this is your job. Shut up and sit here. Think. And give the mind a discipline and order, a command. For what? To sit and perform swadharma. Sankalpa is that. I discipline my mind. I assert what? My mind should not go hither and thither at this period of time. This is your job. And this determination comes from inner understanding of what exactly I want. When my understanding is not proper, obviously, naturally, eventually, my mind will just go away. Why? It has not understood the glory of the sankalpa. Think. Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Vidya Vinaya Praptyartham Shri Sadguru Prasada Siddhyartham Cha. How many people understand the meaning in its purport? Think. Therefore, Kratuhu is nothing but that Sankalpa in the form of what? One symbolism is a Yupa. But main part is that determination. That discipline which I impose upon myself. A Archaka, a Purohit is only a Nimitta Matram, but it is an imposition taken on myself. I impose the discipline in myself and tell my mind, shut up. You have no business to get out of here. And a mind which has understood the determination will quietly become silent and will obey the orders. This ability to discipline the thought in the mind and orient them towards appropriate action. And towards what? Towards what? Towards that supreme is called Kratu. And who is the real Kratuhu? He only is real Kratuhu. He is again the object. He is again the actual ritual also. It is he alone. Therefore, everything is nothing but God. But if I have to understand him, then I must take up this Sankalpa. Think. Kratuhu. After that what? Satram. What is a Satram? Asatyupaiti Chodana-lakshanam Satram. Chodana-lakshanam. What is Chodana-lakshanam? Very, very important. The sacrifice in which the command for the gathering of the learned is given. Command. Instruction. Chodana means instruction. An instruction is given for what? All the relevant people to come together. Like for example, even a class. The students are brought into the class, a bell is rung, students come into the class. A class is called Satram. A session is also called Satram, be it secular or sacred. The word Satram means gathering together with an understanding amongst all for involving in Shastra Jnanam. Shastra Charcha. Shastra, when we say, it can also mean, when we say in the classroom, in a college, in a school, that particular subject is the Shastra of that. And in spiritual activity, Atma Jnana is the Shastra. And a command that is given and a gathering that is brought in for understanding the Supreme. That is called as Satram. Satram also, Sataha Trayate Itiva Satram. Now look at that. The one who protects all good people is called Satram. What is this protection of all good people? Protecting their mind, not getting distracted into Laukika Vishayas, Anitya Vishayas. And then giving that strength to bring all those Satpurushas together and directing their mind towards ultimate Satram. That is also a session. Then the last word in the shloka, Satam Gatihi. What a beautiful name. Satam Mumukshunam na anyaha gatihi itiva iti Satam Gatihi. The one who protects all good. Oh, the English translation has not been changed. Satam Mumukshunam, the one who is interested only in that Bhagavan. Moksho me bhuyaditi mumukshuho. The one who wants only moksha, the one who wants only Bhagavan, he has no interest in whatsoever, not even Swarga ityadi loka. He is not interested in Swarga loka, he is not interested in Brahma loka. All he wants is liberation alone. For such people, na anyaha gatihi. For them, anyaha gatihi na asti. There is no other gati for them. There is no other destination for them. There is no other goal for them. Anyaha gatihi na asti. Iti satam gatihi. What is that? Supreme goal. Satam here also you may call it as Sat. What is Sat? Truth. Truth is Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan is that supreme goal. Bhagavan is that supreme gatihi, satam gatihi. With that, we have completed this shloka. We will continue tomorrow. Sarvadarshi Vimuktatma. 2 more names are there. We will see this tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.